welcome back everyone. Here we are through our day 4. Not, it's slow progress, but which is sort of be expected on one like this. They're just not. You don't get to make the huge leaps and bounds like you normally do with the more simplified sets. But I say progress is progress. You got to deal with it. But if you're new here, this is what I do. I buy these kits and build them step by step, mostly in real time. You get to see all my successes and all my failures. Now I hopefully fix those inevitable failures as they come up. Have a good time and upload daily, and just try to enjoy ourselves. We're not doing anything to change the world. We're just building silly little models and having fun doing it. But if you've seen any kits or builds or sets or anything that you'd like for me to take a shot at, feel free to drop in the comments. I'm always looking to add on to my list, and I've got the most intelligent audience on YouTube, so I know you've got good suggestions. So, without any further ado, let's jump in. Actually, pick up where we left off yesterday, making our, I believe they're supposed to be rose petals. I can get all these out of the way, because I don't think we get to bring any of them back today either. Okay, so like I said, yesterday, unrolled and rolled up 2 little tubes, and in theory, we trim these into tiny little pieces that become tiny little rose petals. And we'll see if that works or not. I think it says to do 10 of these, and I just said 2 is enough for me. I'll get one more cut on that one, I think. Oops, I'll get him. I'm not sure how rose petally. Well, that one's got a mind of its own, going sort of crazy with this. Not sure how rose petally these things are going to look, but this one's slightly rounder, so it might be more in tune. I'll say that one doesn't look that bad. I guess I can sort of. I don't think I got him bound up tight enough too. I think that might also be a problem, because I'm not dexterous enough to roll them up like they said to. Let's see. They don't. I think. It's going to be hit or miss on these, I think. Let's see if I can get these. Yeah. Let's see, I can sort of see a somewhat of a rose petal in them, not. I guess at the scale we're dealing with, it's probably going to be okay. Not too far the other way on that one. Okay, I just killed that one. Now these. I'm not super sure about this, but that's it. We'll have to find a way to install them on a plant to make it, to see how it really works. In the meantime, I gotta find a place to and something to store them on. Okay, a piece of paper here. Maybe I can scoop them up. Got a couple of them. Be well enough alone before I break something over there. Now let's see here. Let's see, I'm on the wrong page. Okay, so there we go. Did that. Now we got these guys. And I need 39, so that guy. I think I'll grab it. Do a rough trim with the X-Acto knife because we're in tight quarters there. Then I'll clean it up with the scissors. Alright. Yeah, let's see if I can do something with these now. Real close, but I think I can. Too high. And in sad news, if anybody's seen the reports on my shorts from a while back, actually, it's been a minute since I showed her, but my dad's cat was Boo Boo the barn cat, and she passed away today. She was going on 17, I think, so she'd had a good long life, and she'd lived a spoiled life the last few years. My dad has never been he's never been mean to animals, but he'd never been an animal person until Boo Boo got a hold of him, because he just melted for her, which is not something I ever expected to happen. He's always been nice to my dogs and stuff, but he's never been, like I say, he's never been somebody that went out of his way for animals. I think just the age he was raised in, and that's how things were back then. When I get these pots, I always like to hit the bottom with a file to even it out. So sort of stand up a little more stable, because before you do that, it's always sort of rounded, and it never, like, from my experience, it never likes to stand up. Okay, I don't think I'll need those for the moment, so I'll get the instructions out of the way. And we're supposed to, this band, we're supposed to go around our lip here. That's going to be, is that the right one? Uphold E839. Yep, it is. It's just a really long decorative band, and something I figured out a while back on something like this. I guess it's sort of a trick. Get the super glue out. Mix the brush as empty as possible. Want as little on there as I can get. Get me a dab on it, and then anchor it down with the super glue. And sticking the main instead of the glue. Okay, there it goes. Okay. And once you get it anchored, you can throw it away. So, wind your way around. This is not very cooperative. No, it's not even, so it's not. Okay, so. Okay, so it's gonna just be. Yeah, it's. I think it's a combination of being crooked and the pot's crooked too, I think. But I'm thinking I'm gonna go for the. I was gonna do the B7000, but I'm gonna get a new plan. Just gonna super glue on the end here. Wrap you. Okay. So certain angles will be okay, and like at this scale, I think it'll be obscured enough. Now we're doing the thing with the sponge again. See, this one's. I'm not loving this technique. I got some leftover plants from other roll-off builds, so I think I'm just going to start popping leaves off and using them instead of that. Yeah, I think. Let's just try just the individual leaves right now. See how that goes. See if they all fly off too. Okay. Maybe I'd feel different about it if the instructions were a little more clear, but cut up in small pieces and do that. Just cut into pieces. I don't, let's say it's confusing. I think, yeah, it looks like this one goes around to all sides. So what I'm going to do, get out the old hot glue gun here in a second. These wires go down the middle. So easy for me to say. Okay, so we'll spread them all out a little bit. And just right down the middle. And toothpick. And thing sharp. Okay. A little more down the side. I can inject it there. Yeah. Okay. Now, a little glue over here. Pick those guys up, I'd pop them right in. Okay. A little more on this side. My hand is, I could tell it was going to work. Okay. And Neil's using her facility, so I'll give her some privacy. Okay, that gave it a couple more minutes to solidify in there, so I don't know if it's going to work or not, but supposedly we're supposed to bend these guys over the edges. Now we don't even reach over the edge. So we're going vines all around. And then invisible strings again. And some of our rose petals sort of magically attach to the vines for us. Might be being a little bit facetious here. Okay, let's just see if I can't put just a few dots of the LB7000 randomly on our vines here. Maybe with a bit of luck I can drop them in place. Good news is, as light as they are, they do stick almost instantly. Bad news is, I think this is going to be the end of our rose bushes. First and last. I'm going to load them all in there. Yeah, that one's not cooperating. Okay. Doesn't look terrible. I'll help you up a little bit, get you not. Okay, it sort of stands up on its own. Okay, I think once it solidifies a little bit more, I'll have to do some more sanding on that base. It does seem to be, I think I've let the wires slip out there. But there's that one. Yeah. Not enthused about it, but it doesn't look terrible. Alright, so, and yeah, it doesn't stand up on its own, so. Okay. That thing's bugging me too. Okay. Alright. So, what's next? Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to this one almost as much. Okay. And this is, yeah, getting more leaves on that. Now, let's see. And it's also calling for more rose petals, which, yeah, that's not happening. It's just going to be a plant. Okay, and this is supposed to be, this bit is supposed to, in theory, be the strap that we hang it up by. So, it's supposed to be a hanging basket we're eventually going to make. Okay, get to disassemble this one. Fortunately, we don't have to flatten it out like we did the last one. Just gotta get it to come apart. Should be easy. Okay, there it goes. I'm going to take one of these, and it says to wind it up and make a base underneath this thing. I'm not doing that, for sure. I'm not even sure we're supposed to wrap this little bead with this wire to make a basket. No, the wire with this string. Okay, frustration levels are going to be high. No freaking way. Just no freaking way. Let's see, maybe. Okay. Yeah. Nab that there. Down into it. Into that. Poke and stick here. Get into the glue. Okay, so got that started. Now, so I have my doubts about this, but I'm gonna give this a go. Just bring me some glue. Try to smear it everywhere around here. Let's see what happens when I start wrapping it. That happens, which is not surprising at all. Getting stickier on my fingers anyway, so it should be getting stickier on the bead. Alright. Maybe it'll dry. Okay, got a nice coating of glue there. Yeah, is that it? I think that might be. Oh, that's a piece of the acrylic laminate. Okay. I think that's gonna have to do for me. Then, and supposedly we wrap this on top to make the top of the basket. So, once again, no freaking way. Not from me anyway. Okay, let's give us a few more leaves here. Where'd I put that? That's this one. And this. And these guys over. Flip them so they're, you can get a grip on them. Okay. And hot glue injected down the middle, I hope. Yeah, popping these guys in. They're not going to spread out the way I want to. Three of them. The fourth one, if I can get it to go in front here. Where the glue sits in. Glue's already set in. Okay, it's going to be three of them. Okay, so that's going to be our hanging plant, if I can get it to come off this form in a minute. But like I said, this is supposed to be our what we hang it by, and it is fortunately at least long enough to do that. So let me try and put a drop on, and top of our basket there. Oh. Strings. Okay, and other hand. And around. Okay, that's in place. Okay. I'm going to give that... Oh, actually, there's something else I can do before I give that a minute. Move some extra leaves over here. Alright. So this guy... More acrylic bit. This... goes on there. It doesn't... Okay, I got it. Let's see. This is supposed to stick on there, and the cushion's not supposed to. So we're just putting the glue on the bottom part. Now that makes sense. Okay, grab some old. It says to use white latex, so that's what they mean by that. So I'll do. A bit like so. Spread out nice and even. And down on top of it. Okay. Now I'm going to give that a few minutes to dry before I start trimming it out. And I'll be right back and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so that's been a few minutes, so I think that'll be okay. But first things first, let's see if I can separate this guy. Let's see. Let me just try with a little. Alright. Okay. Theirs looks much better than mine, but it's done. And let's see here now. We trim out our canopy and our cushion. So I'm going to do the cushion first. I'll do the big scissors. Oh. I hadn't been anywhere to get grease under my fingernails yet. I found I get grease under my fingernails. Okay, let's see. So there. Okay, so we should have an almost. They're calling that a cushion. So, and I see where we're going to use that here in a minute. So, hopefully, we're actually going to build something that isn't teeny tiny. I hope. But now for this one, let's how does it go? Okay, so it goes all the way to the inside to the gray shaded areas where we're cutting out to. So there should be ample glue on there, so it should be stabilized. Do the big scissors for this bit. Take all that out of the way, I hope. Now transition to my little scissors for Alright, so that worked out pretty good actually. I'm sort of pleased with how that one turned out. Usually these things don't turn out that great for me when I do the fabric stuff. I guess they got enough glue on there to keep it solid. You'll see this one getting all string. The strings always come off the edges on the little bits. But yay. Okay, now on to this is this is not a leftover flower on this one. This is actually theirs. And a couple of doodads here. I think I just noticed that one had a little trash in the middle, so I'm going to try and see if that's, hopefully it won't get in my way. No, I think it'll be alright. Okay, got that one cleaned out. This one looks same thing, a little, the glaze or light coating or whatever on it was a little thing, but that, yeah, that cleaned them out good. Now it doesn't say, the picture has cutting all the leaves off these things and sort of sticking them in there. I don't know. I think that if I can get a few of them in there, that'll be plenty to hold it in by pressure, but I think I'm still gonna throw in some glue. So let me just in. Of course that one shot off into oblivion. Four of them. Okay, I think that's going to give us enough leaves with the guys to pop apart. Get some. I can't imagine these two tiny beads holding that much more than this. Okay, so bring you in. Checked a bit of right down the middle, I think. Try to anyway. Okay. Now, see if I can't get a few of these guys to go. Both of them. The first one I grab has a burr on it. Okay, it's cooperating fairly well, so that's good. Get one more in the in there. No, that's about all she's going to take. That's a little tiny pop. And that looks pretty close to what the picture is. It looks like this one has even fewer leaves. So I can get this one to not. Okay. Oh, the invisible strings grabbed that one, so that's good. Grab this one because it's standing up for me. One or two is going to be about all this one takes, I think. It's going to hold enough on it. Maybe. It might go 3. A little bit of... Nope, it's not. Let's get our 2 in there. Okay, I was very optimistic about how many leaves those things were going to hold. Especially but far less optimistic than they were, if you can see. They said to strip the whole thing down. Alright. So, set you guys up there out of the way. Put you over here. Outside. Alright. Now, bring back our cushion piece and our stool, and it's supposed to be 1 green bead and 1 yellow bead, but I couldn't find a green bead, so I just got 2 yellow ones. Got you and you. This. Now this would be ideal for my right angle jig, if I can find. Is that the new one? Or is that the, yeah, I think this is the new one. Okay, so put you in like so. No, it's not, because these are going to be, the legs are going to flare it out on this, so it won't work on. Oh, I guess it'll work against the side, but well, yeah, that should be okay. So we'll go against the side like that. Yeah, okay, and then I can just bring it down like so, and that should be fairly close to square on that. I think. Good job for the old Gorilla Super Glue. See if I can get minimal amounts on here. Get those. Up. A little pressure there, but not on one side. Pressure going down on both. Maybe. And this won't work on the other side because I'm not going to have room for my finger to fit in there. We'll have to figure something else out there. Okay. Maybe. No, that won't. I think I'm just going to eyeball this second one. Which I really don't want to do. I'm trying to. Is there any. Since the legs are flared out, I don't have room for that. Yeah, I think eyeballing it's going to be the only way to go. So. And I did totally miss the eyeballing it on the side. Now I got a little bit of trash there too. So, too cool. Okay. Okay, so maybe grab this one. Actually, let me grab this one. Not gonna have room. Yeah, that won't work. Maybe something on the angle here. I'm not confident about this one. Okay, maybe I can get that done. Okay. Sure, that's what y'all wanted. 5 minutes of me sitting around trying to figure out how to glue a little bitty piece onto another little bitty piece. And that pressure. Okay. Well, it stands up at least. Alright, got us a teeny tiny stool. In my head, I'm secretly glad they didn't ask us to put a cross member in. Because I would not have been surprised if they did. Okay, now we get this plant, these beads, and this cushion are what goes on top here. Looks like, let me go drop it. Teeny tiny bit, come on. All of it. It's still hot. Okay. Now, I'm trying to get glue strand. I keep getting. Okay. So now to get this to lay down, I hope I can just a touch on the end here. Down to just connect somewhere. Don't take much to hold the piece of cloth down, but it does. Gonna need some persuasion. Okay, and then same thing here. Tiniest little bit. And bring you over there. And we strand again. Okay, so we got it laying down at least. Another. Okay, now I'm going to convert over to the B7000 to put those bits on. It's just I'm going to put just a bead there. And pew in that. Try get these guys to cooperate with me here. Just into there. Okay. There. Like I said, one of those is supposed to be green, but I don't think there was a green one in my bag. Okay. This has been a stressful night. And I just keep looking. Okay, I think tomorrow is going to be better. There's no plants tomorrow at least. And then, ooh, I do see something I'm really not looking forward to making. It's just going to be, it's just little bitty pieces all the way through. There's no payoff to making the big pieces, it doesn't look like. It's sort of, there's a big piece every now and then, but it's just all little bitty pieces. And they just keep coming. Let's see, there's, trying to figure out what that, okay, that's the roof. Okay. Well, like I say, we're just going to keep plugging away at it. I'm not going to give up or anything, but it's a haul. So I've got our stool and our hanging plant, and then our, well, I just lost a rose petal. I don't guess it's a rose petal with those leaves. And that. Did I do anything? That's, you know, it's amazing that as long, I don't even know how long I've been going tonight, but that's all, the whole result of tonight's work. This just seems amazing to me how slow the progress is, but that is what we got to deal with on these. So there's a side view of that one. I'm not sure which way it's supposed to be facing, but it does seem to be fairly stable anyway. Alright, definitely enough tonight. I'm going to go drink a nice tea and listen to some classical music or something. I don't know. Maybe some white noise. But thanks for watching, everybody. Like, subscribe, comment, complain, share. Do whatever you want to with all that. Oh yeah, I forgot about this thing too. Be good to one another. Stay safe. And click on one of my links. That's subscribe to the channel. That's the playlist for this build. That's what YouTube thinks you should watch. And that's my experimental channel that I really need to get on the ball and upload another video to. But I'll see you tomorrow.